please remember to support Mission4Tution by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and turning on notifications.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Hyperroll, where I hope to show you things I do that are right, that are wrong, that can make you a better player in this. This one started off interesting because it gave me a skirmisher right off the bat, which is a build I do like to run in this. I then immediately see the ability to make a silver warwick and a cannon down at the bottom. So I pick up the silver warwick just because I want to make the best build possible. However, I roll down and I'm unable to get another skirmisher, so I have to go with the silver warwick. Unfortunately, 2 skirmishers and 1 warwick does not make for a good combination. And no matter how much I'm rolling early on, I was not able to find a new deer until 4-1. But I'm looking at my items and I realize I have almost everything I need for the perfect Jax items. I have the components for the Runin's Untamed Hurricane, the Bloodthirster, and the Rapid Fire Cannon, which is exactly what you want on a skirmisher Jax build. I start with the Runin's Untamed Hurricane so that I can be hitting 3 targets at once. This will fire 2 additional bolts. Even though it's only at 50% attack damage, it's at least doing more attack damage across the board. Obviously, I'd rather have a silver Udyr at this point to put out damage, but at this moment, I'll take anything. And at least it's able to stem the bleeding for a second. Unfortunately, I still have a silver warwick as my only silver character, and that is just not going to cut it as we're getting further and further into the game. And as you can see, it's going to get very ugly very quickly. But I go through the NPC round and I pick up another part of my key items. And I can now make a Bloodthirster for Udyr and at least silver up my Nidalee and my Udyr. I decide to pick up Diana because she's going to be critical for later in the game, and she's better than a bronze Gragas for sure. I lock to pick up the additional Udyr, add the Bloodthirster on, and hope I can at least win a few to stay in it until I can get to my 6th skirmisher level that I know I need to reach. Unfortunately, this person has a Nightbringer build with an Aphelios already, and it ain't gonna work. I can silver up my cannon, get an additional Nidalee just to fill out my board, but right now, I'm still struggling with 3 skirmishers. I now have all of my Jax items, and I can get a Pantheon to replace the Warwick.
Embrace the night. The untamed, no.
So I think I'm finally getting closer with a Trundle to getting my 6th skirmisher. With 5 skirmishers, I put the Rapid Fire Cannon onto Udyr, thinking, okay, I'm just 1 or 2 rolls away from having my 6th skirmisher. But as you can see, it's really not going to matter at this point because 5 skirmishers just is not going to cut it. You need that additional boost to make this work. I grab the sparring gloves here because there's a little bit of a no-brainer. Nidalee's passive is called Aspect of the Cougar, and it allows her an additional dodge chance. And whenever she dodges an attack, she will do additional magic damage on her next attack. So I like to put Thieves' Gloves on Nidalee at this point, and then not have to think about it. With a silver Nidalee that gives her over a 50% dodge chance, and will give her 2 decent items, so she can just do her work and then jump in and get the job done when she needs to. So with Thieves' Glove in place, we'll see the impact Nidalee has on the game almost immediately. She's able to evade most of the attacks against her, not take too much damage, and help turn the fight with the additional damage that she's doing. And basically taking the unkillable Vlad and sucking his blood out. Now desperate for my 6th skirmisher, I grab the loaded dice and decide to use Pantheon as my target. But I don't get anything new. I'm still struggling at this point with 5 skirmishers. Not enough to get the additional attack buff that you need from skirmishers to really win the game. Again, having the right items can help you out and keep you alive for a little while, and which is why I win this fight. But I know without that 6th skirmisher, it's just a matter of time. But I'm so deep into the game right now, I'm committed. I grab the Mordekaiser to make my 4 Dragonslayers, so at least I have that. And then I decide to start stacking Trundle, because he can be a powerhouse in this. But again, it's only when you get to 6 that it really matters. And with still 5 skirmishers, it looks like this game is almost over. We roll through as much as we can here in the hopes of finding something, and in a move of desperation, buy a Teemo, bring ourselves down to 1 health so we get the extra rolls. And it pays off because we get the 6th skirmisher that we need. However, in my excitement, I am about to make a critical mistake. I sell my Udyr and put the items on Jax, which is absolutely the plan. But what I miss is I should be replacing the 2nd Nidalee with Udyr. Instead, I grab Mordekaiser. So now I have 6 skirmishers, but only 3 Dragonslayers, so I'm not getting the additional Dragonslayer buff. Luckily, this mistake does not cost me the game, as Nidalee's dodges just absolutely allow her to clean up a team that she should not have been able to, and keep me alive 1 round longer.
Where am I needed?
I substitute Udyr for Lee Sin and quickly correct my mistake from before, so now I have 6 skirmishers and 4 Dragonslayers, and I'm getting the best buff I can with the team that I currently have. I'm still working with a Bronze Jax, so I am hoping he will keep me in it, but I'm not sure. However, as you can see, with Jax gaining attack damage throughout the entire match and attack speed, he can clean house. I finally get my Silver Jax, and then bring in a Viego to buff Diana and give her more damage. But a key really came with getting a gold Nidalee.
Taste of power.
Unfortunately, I gambled wrong here, and was hoping I was going to go up against Wolf God Titus, who was stacked left, but I ended up against OBGYN, who was stacked right, so the Shroud of Stillness on Nidalee did absolutely nothing for me. So this is a prayer mode for me, as I hope that Jax can hold this together and clean this entire team up. Luckily, as his attack speed increases and Nidalee continues to dodge, I'm able to get in on their Varus and finish it with Jax leading the damage charge. Here I realize I'm likely going to go up against Wolf God Titus, and his Hecarim has a Turbulent Zephyr. I would like it to hit Trundle. Turbulent Zephyr will take a character out for 8 seconds. When that character returns to the fight, they get 30 bonus attack damage and 30 spell power for the rest of the match. Luckily, I end up against exactly who I thought I was going to be. They pull Trundle off the board for 8 seconds. Jax is able to pick up attack damage as he goes and take out a lot of the threats. By the time Trundle comes down, his attack damage is up, and he's able to clean up and finish the match. Now, it's just me against OBGYN, and I really do make a critical mistake here by not having Nidalee between my two assassins. However, I stack everything right because I want to get as close into them as possible, as quickly as possible. I need to take that Aatrox off the board because he's going to slow everyone's attack. Luckily, with Aatrox down, Jax can just pick up speed over and over. And remember, he's hitting 3 targets every time, so everything ultimately goes down quickly, and somehow I escape this match with a victory.